Greetings, everyone. My name is Alchemistic Goldmine. You can call me Al or AG. Today, I want to talk about the books that have influenced your life. I'm going to share some of the books that have influenced my thinking in my life for the past maybe 20 years. There's a few other ones. We may do this again because there's so many. I don't have a copy of The Alchemist, but if you haven't read The Alchemist, fire, absolute fire. Paleo. I never can get that guy's name right, but he's a brilliant author. I've read that, and there's also one, excuse me, on love that he's done. It's a very powerful book and worth picking up and reading. But so I'm going to share these books with you. And I'm hoping that in the comments section that you guys can share books with the rest of us. You know, I want to see what everybody's reading. I want to see where people are coming from. I'm very interested in you all. And I appreciate you showing up here and listening to whatever I have to share with you. Because, from what I've seen, my subscriptions, y'all are some brilliant people. But anyway, so the first book, it's going to be 5 to 7 books. I was going to make it 5 books, but I give myself 2 honorable mentions because there's so many. It's ridiculous. But these are like the most important ones. Okay, so the first one I'm going to share, let's see what we have here. Let's do this one. This is called The Cosmic Octave, The Origin of Harmony. Now, what this deals with, this guy, what he did was he took mathematical formulas of the frequencies of light, and he put them on a continuum, and he mathematically brought them down in ratio. And what he found was that there are frequencies of light and sound that are equivalent. So, for instance, like the note C. The note C is equivalent to maybe my shirt color. The atmosphere. The atmosphere, color of the atmosphere on the planet is equal to the note C. Now, what's really funny, what they found out is that this note, it's a C, D flat corner of note. That note is the equivalent to the raga for Sarasvati. Sarasvati is the mode that's used for the planet. The Sarasvati mode is a scale or a mode that they use in India, and it's used for healing, and it's used for the planet and everything. But that frequency is equal to the Sarasvati mode, which is the color of the Earth's atmosphere. No accident. There are certain colors, there are certain sounds that create a resonance in people. Okay, when you understand that, then a lot of things will make sense. And I'm going to tie this into one of my other favorites. I just jumped in the middle with this one. Okay. The next one, and this is a bad one, folks. You might want to get this. Octave, The Art and Practice of Creative Visualization. He's got some stuff in here about manifestation you won't find anywhere. I guarantee you. I look all over YouTube. They don't have this in here. This brother was bad. Okay. He used to have lessons. 1962, I think I'm trying to remember when he passed. I think it was the early 70s, but this book right here is on YouTube. Some of his books are not in print anymore, and they're very expensive. I have a lot of them, but there's a few of them like way off the hook. They out of my range right now in terms of what I'm trying to do. But the subject matter, but I'm going to get them eventually, because this is more what I'm focusing on, more other things. But this book is smoking, y'all, and we're going to go through some things. We're going to talk about some things and work with some things in here. This is a smoking hot book. Okay, you can get this. Okay. Of course, we're going to talk about this one. I can't harp on this one enough. This creates structure. Okay. If you can get just a couple of principles from this book, a couple of ideas from this book, a couple of nuggets from this book, and use them, it will change your life. It will help you to operate more, and you won't drift. Now, this book right here to me goes directly in direct correspondence with Outwitting the Devil. Brilliant book. Steve Covey passed away, unfortunately, rest in peace. Brilliant man. He has Covey, I believe Covey Institute, Covey, whatever it is. They have devices that will help you to organize your time. And there's another one too another place that helps organize the time. But anyway, we'll talk about that too. And organizing time, you're going to hear me say this many times, right? This is one of the things that I kind of say. I never heard anybody else say this, but I say this. Life ain't classical. It's jazz. You know what I mean? Life is improvised. So, again, that's what I'm talking about. You got to be ready. Like James Brown said, if you don't, it's better, you got to stay ready. Wait a minute. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. That's why I talk about developing yourself, right? Right? The jazz musician develops himself. He develops some skills. So that when he comes across them pages of Coltrane changes, but it's in an A flat and wasn't in B, or whatever it was, he can navigate his way through it. The classical musician will study the music and learn the music. He'll learn the plan, right? But if you throw another chord change in front of him, he might be lost. Some of the modern classical musicians not necessarily so, but that's the difference. You can make a plan. Yeah, make a plan. The jazz musician has a chart, right? Make a plan, right? But you have to be able to navigate and improvise in life. If you can't improvise, life is about improvisation. It's not about being totally written. I've even read of some CEOs, some great CEOs that never wrote stuff. They never had they wrote it down, but they never had a concrete plan. Like, it was concrete. It was like they had options. There's always an option. It was like, I have to do this. This is A, then this is B. No, this is 5 options, 6 options, 10 options, 20 options. If I come across this, I'll improvise it this way. Okay. Very interesting book. Very powerful book. Okay. The next one I want to share. Yes, this one. The Arcane Formulas and the Arcane Teachings. These books, Arcane Formulas, Arcane Teachings, by William Walker Atkinson. It's my man. And he talks about the universe, talks about the structure of the universe, talks about energy, talks about people's mindset, thinking, that type of thing. How does your thinking affect your world? How does your actions affect your world? What is your place in the universal scheme of things? And the formulas tell you self-development. Very powerful stuff. I'm not going to give this all away. Maybe you need to get the book and find out what's there. But this book is smoking hot. Okay. Now, how many books is that? So we've gone through 1, 2, 3. Oh, yes. Gone through 4. Here's 5. Now, these are not necessarily in the order that I would say that I would prioritize them as. I'm kind of going from least important to most important. And I'll tell you how they rise together. Robert Anton Wilson's Prometheus Rise. Robert Anton Wilson is the kind of author, when you read him, he takes your mind and throws it down the hallway and throws it out the window. Because he completely flips your boat. He flips it one way and flips it the other, and then throws it out in the street. And sometimes we need that. It's really a mind-expanding type of book. He talks about something called reality tunnels, where everybody has built a tunnel. Okay? And you don't see anything else. All you know is what you've seen in that tunnel. So you could look out here and there could be complete desolation everywhere. And you would see, off in the distance, you would see on the hill, there was a little rose bush growing all these beautiful roses. And everybody else is looking out of the desolation. You're looking at this beautiful rose bush. Because you've built a reality tunnel that focuses it. And he also talks about how you can create your reality tunnels. But, some people will see, oh man, look at that trash in the street. Oh man, look at that homeless lady sitting over there. They look at the homeless lady, man. She's dressed in rags and dirt and all that. Another person will look at the homeless lady and go, my, she has beautiful eyes and she has a beautiful smile. And look at her, I can see her heart. You know, what can I do for her? You know, it's your life, your mind, your existence is your perception. What you perceive really is really what you are. Your whole life is a mirror of your thinking. A lot of people don't want to deal with that one. That's pretty heavy, right? But it is. Your life is a mirror of your thinking. So if you want to know how you think, you want to know what's on your mind, look around you. Look around you. It'll tell you pretty quick. You want to know what you're thinking? Look at the people around you. Those are the people that you drew to you. Those people came to you. You want to know why you're in the health you are? Look at your habits. Look at the things that you do. You want to know about your money situation? Look how you think about money. This is a big one. We're going to talk about that also. This is one that I'm working with. I think everybody's working with this. Because frankly, they don't teach us about money in school. They don't teach us about the energy of things and all that kind of stuff. And it's cool. You know, but yeah, just look at your life, man. It'll teach you a lot of things. Look, you know, we used to have a joke. You know, we walking through the festival. You know, they have the street festivals. You know, where they have the bands and they have all the vendors and stuff. And you know, and the crazy dude always walks up to you. You know, hey man, you know. What does it say about you? Does it say something about you? I don't know. It might. But that's something to think about. Okay? So, Prometheus Rising. Very powerful book. Again, deep book. Okay? Now, this book right here is a series of books. And I think there's 5 or 7 or something. I don't know how many there are. But if you go on eBay, you're going to be blown away how much this book cost me back in the 90s. I think it was like $60. You ain't gonna get this book for $60 now. It's called The Matrix Equivocum, or the Matrix series by Val Valerian. Okay. This book deals with everything. I mean, application of hermetic principles. You see it right there. Okay. Hermetic principles are what we're going to talk about the next thing. You know, manifestation, hermetic process, DNA, interview with Dan Winter. He deals with sacred geometry. I mean, the book is like smoking. Okay, it is like serious fire, seriously lit, you know, super, super dope. It's like really sick, right? Deals with the platonic solids, all this kind of thing. The book is heavy, literally and figuratively. This book, and there's a series of them. There's a whole series of them. I have them over there. They're falling apart. I got to rebind them, but there's like about 5 of these. I think I have 4 or 5 of them, and there's like others too. Valimar Valerian, The Matrix. This was before the movie. It has a section in this book that talks about. There's a guy who was working with energy, and he had put it on a continuum with some type of formula. He developed this formula, and he was able to predict things with like 99, 97% for accuracy. I think that he was talking, and he predicted 9/11. He predicted some event. He predicts events in the world, major events in the world, and he predicted 9/11 based on mathematics. Mathematics. There's a line in a Christopher Walken movie. I think it's one of those angel movies. You know, Christopher Walken was one of those angel movies. Like he played Gabriel, and he said, and he's sitting on steps with the children, and he goes, "Study your mathematics, children. It's the language of the universe," and it is. Mathematics along with compassion, because pure mathematics makes people who look at everything as mathematical, but there's always that curve, there's that quantum, which is the love and the compassion thing. Okay. And the last book that I'm going to deal with This book right here, there's one more also. Oh, I have to say, the Lotus Sutra. The Lotus Sutra is so deep. Matter of fact, 16th chapter is so deep that I was in a state one day and I read it and I understood it. When I tried to pick it up another day, it talks about dragons and Buddhas and this and that. I had no idea what it meant. But it was one time I was chanting or something, whatever, and I read it and I understood it. And it was like deep, and it kind of like went into my subconscious somewhere. But Lotus Sutra, very powerful book. Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. That's all I got to say about that. Investigate it. Okay. Caballum. This book right here, if there was a book, this and the Lotus Sutra, there are two books. If I was on an island, I had two books, Lotus Sutra and this. This book right here explains everything else I just told you about. Why? Because it's the 7 Hermetic Principles of the Universe, and it's written by the 3 initiates, but people are saying it's William Walker Atkinson. It was probably written by him. It was probably codified by him, but these are principles that have, and postulates and laws that have been around since eternity. You have 7 laws here. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to do something on this book. Now, here's the thing. Let me tell you a story about this book. So I bought this book. This is the original Caballum that I have, as you can see. It's been really loved a great deal. I love this book, right? I mean, just look, it just all falling to pieces and everything. And this is the original one I had. And I remember this book sat on my bookshelf. I'm going to find a passage. This book sat on my bookshelf forever. And one day I decided to pick it up. And when I opened it up, it said this. Now this blew my mind because I picked this book. This book was sitting in my library shelf for like maybe 4 years. It just sat there. I knew there was something about this book when I picked it up. I just didn't know what it was. So I opened it up, and the first thing I read in this book, it said this. So that according to the teachings, the passage of this book to those women, let me get this right. So that according to the teachings, the passage of this book to those ready for instruction will be attracted to the attention of such as are prepared to receive the teaching. And likewise, when the pupil is ready to receive the truth, then this little book will come to him or her. And that's the first thing I read in this book when I picked it up. Okay, now you know that's got to be like frying my brains right about now. Okay? Such is the law, the Hermetic law principle of cause and effect in the aspect of law of attraction. Will bring lips and ear together, and the pupil and the book. And the pupil and the book in company, so mote it be. So, when they talk about the law of attraction, they miss law of attraction is not even a major law. This book has the laws in it. You want to understand how things work in the universe, and I'm going to be referring to this book over and over again. So I'm going to say this. If you guys want to, there's 2 books that would really be good to pick up. These 2. And maybe this one. Oh, this is banging. Because this explains this. And this definitely explains this. When we start talking about frequency and manifestation and frequency and color and all that kind of thing and all those kind of things, and the first, I mean, it's on point. The first thing, the law of the universe is mental. Like I've been saying, everything you're thinking, you're feeling. Mental is not just the mind. Mental is your feelings also. How you processing your feelings. But universe, the law of mentalism. Everything that ever was or once was a thought. Look around the room right there. Look around the room right now. Everything you see was a thought. If you go look in the mirror, you were a thought at one time. So that's where you start. You don't start from the outside, you start from the inside. Okay? So I'm glad, I'm happy to share these books with you. There's more, but I had to think to eliminate some of them. There's a lot, but I think those are like some of the most eye-opening books that I've ever read. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your likes. If you would do me a favor, I would ask you to subscribe. I will do, as part of my mission statement, to give the best that I can in everything that I do. And this is a new endeavor that I'm making an effort to manifest, and I will give you the best that I can. I appreciate everything, your subscriptions, I appreciate your likes, I appreciate your comments and your time, because time is very, very valuable. You could be doing something else other than looking at my little video. So I want everybody to have a beautiful, powerful, expansive day. And remember, don't slay your dragons, ride them.